What's up, guys? I'm Ben10000YGO. I'm your friendly neighborhood Yu-Gi-Oh! Superhero. And to quote Ben 10, as they say, justice is best served cold. Stick around. Alright, so if the title didn't give it away, today's video is going to be an Ice Barrier deck. Now, this is a viewer-requested deck, because, to be honest with you guys, Ice Barriers have never been my cup of tea. Like, I like their Synchro monsters, but that's about it! So I had to really think hard and really do some research, basically, to figure out, okay, if I'm going to play Ice Barriers today, how would I go about doing that? And I think I've come up with that solution. But, that being said, if we're going to go that route, I'm going to wait until we get to the end of the video when I have the deck in front of you guys. But, essentially, here's how this works, if you're new here. We have this little conversation here at the front. I'm going to throw some replay footage here in the middle. And then at the end, I'll have the deck profile, and there we will discuss, you know, the strategy, card choices, you know, all that jazz. And you'll have the deck in front of you, so ha. And you guys may notice some new aesthetic stuff I'm still working on here and there, but I'm really excited to show you some stuff I've been doing with YGO Pro. So without further ado, guys, let's get into it.
Idea.
There you have it, guys. This is my Ice Barrier deck. So, here's what we have in mind for the ice barriers, alright? So this is going to be a bit of on the strange side, I know, because you're like, wow, that's not a lot of ice barriers. Yeah, unfortunately, the ice barriers themselves just, I don't know, they're just not where they need to be. Ice barriers need, like, I don't know what exactly they need, but I would say they need the ability to special summon more, and then I could think they could be a viable deck, at least in the, like, casual area. But if you're going to play it, like, I think this is the best route to take, and basically what this is this is a Utopia ice barrier deck, I would say, because basically what you're wanting to do is you're wanting to get 2 level 4s, and you're obviously need them to be spellcasters, so that's why you see we're playing Dance Princess, we're playing the Strategist of the Ice Barrier. Primarily, these are the Ice Barrier monsters you're going to be using. Of course, we have the Rhoda, so we don't have to play as many Ice Barriers. But if you're going to play them, this is what I think is the best thing. And of course, we play Gigabyte, which, you know, oh, you have a spellcaster, I'm coming out, you know, so that's because that was the best I could come up with. Like I was saying, this is basically it. And then of course we're playing Phantasme because, like, I hate to say this, but I feel like the lower tier that your deck is, the more you have to. Losing my camera here. That's all right. What would a Ben 10 video be without a little few technical errors, right? But like I was saying, I hate to say this, but I feel like the lower tier your deck is, the more you need staples to bring it back up. And that's if you just want to play, like, and not get rumple-stomped. Like, I hate to, like, as you guys saw in the replays, I didn't play any meta decks with this deck. Now, I just didn't come across any, but I don't imagine this deck would do very well against any, if it came across any. I consider the Mystic Mind deck meta, but that's just me personally. You guys don't have to agree with that statement. I just feel like it's the most anti-meta meta deck, if that makes any sense. Like, it's the most effective anti-meta deck. So it's like meta, anti-meta, if that makes sense. Anyway, the point that I'm getting at, like, this deck could probably take on Mystic Mind, assuming it drew into, like, evenly matched here. But other than that, yeah, no. And then, like, depending on what you're up against, like, with the link-based decks, I mean, yes, we have Phantasme, but, I don't know if that would really be the end-all, be-all. And so I threw in, like, all the best hand traps that I could think of, minus, like, Ash Blossom, because I felt like it would just kind of get in the way. So, yeah. And then, of course, there's a +1 combo with Summoner Monk and Metaphos Fusion. So basically, that's why we're playing that, in case you're wondering. Basically, we pay the cost for Summoner Monk, and then, you know, he replaces it with a new monster, and then Metaphos Fusion, you know, put it back. Most of the time, it's going to be very much a, in the end, it'll be a break-even, but the idea in my mind was, oh, it's a kind of a pseudo +1, and gosh, damn camera. Damn thing is fidgety. But, like I was saying, sorry about this, guys. But like I was saying, that's pretty much what the idea of that combo is. And then, of course, some staples like Monster Reborn. You know, obviously we have the metal, so we can get to our handful of ice barriers. And then I am playing the one Guntala. So the idea, or not Guntala, yeah, it is Guntala. I don't know why I got confused there. The point that I'm getting at with this guy is, basically what you want to do is you want to wait till you draw, like, or you really just want to pitch him off for the strategist, and then maybe bring him back with back to the front. That's your idea there. But your win con basically is you want 2 level 4s, you want to make Utopia, and you want to do double or nothing. Now, the reason why we are playing 3, even though it's a bit of a garnet, is because, sorry guys, my camera is just not going to work with me today. But the reason why is because basically you can pitch them, if you draw them, we can pitch them off for Summoner Monk, so it's not the worst in the world. But if we draw it, thanks to Summoner Monk. But yeah, but we do have to play 3 because we are playing Pot of Desires, which it's like, the thing is we have to get to our cards very quickly, and we don't have time to play around. A lot of decks, you know, they can put up this big strong board. The best we can do is OTK. This is what I could come up with. I mean, the ice barriers are, like I said, they're a very underrepresented deck. They're, you know, Konami just doesn't make decks in equally, or archetypes equally, unfortunately. So everyone who wants to play like a fan favorite archetype has to find a way to think outside the box. So this is the best I could come up with.
I'm sure there's somebody out there who's probably an Ice Barrier expert and probably knows every combo that they could possibly think of with them, but this is what I got. So basically what we're doing is we're abusing Utopia with the Ice Barriers as more of an engine. I used to play a deck like this back in the day with one of my best friends. Him and I built a Brilliant Fusion one, but that was when Brilliant Fusion was at 3, and it was kind of like a play off of the Minerva deck back in the day, but it was like instead of Lightsworns, we had Ice Barriers. It actually worked, but but obviously the game has evolved since then, so there's just things we can't do anymore. That like the deck just isn't going to function anymore. Like, we obviously don't have Fairy Tale Snow. We need more than one Brilliant Fusion, so it's just this is the next evolve thing. Obviously, this deck is not budget. Our hand traps are all super expensive, but like I said, this doesn't even bring you up to the meta guys level. This just makes it to where, like, maybe you can put up a fight. Like, if you were playing against something like, I want to say that, like, maybe you could put up a fight against, like, the Link ones, like maybe Sky Striker and maybe like Salad, for example, because we do play things like Evenly Matched and Phantasme. But the rest, and maybe Mystic Mind too, because again, evenly matched, because they usually put it like everything they've got, and we could just, okay, evenly battle phase, evenly match. Doesn't have to necessarily, they can keep their Mystic Mind, but they won't be able to burn or anything, and then it just becomes, deck out. But I digress. The point that I'm getting at here is that this deck just isn't where it needs to be yet. And we need more support for just Ice Barrier, water decks in general. But this is what I got. So if you guys enjoyed this or have any suggestions, you're more than welcome to give what you think Ice Barriers need. I personally think they just need the ability to special summon more, and then you will have a worthy. Sorry guys, I'm sorry my camera's just not working with me today. That's what they need. They need more monsters that they can special summon. They need to be more spammy, or we need another archetype that works well with them. Like, oh, if you have a water spellcaster, summon 2 monsters from the deck or something. I don't know. That's the idea in my mind. But yeah, make sure you guys, if you like this fun kooky deck, this viewer requested deck, make sure that you give this video a thumbs up, and consider subscribing if you're new here. Also, if you guys have noticed, I'm gonna show this to you, because I'm sure you guys can kind of see, but we don't have the normal background anymore. Huh? How cool is this, right? And if we move this, look at that. Yeah. How cool is that, right, guys? I figured out how to change the background. I'm actually very proud of that. Also, YGO, if you guys want to see me get to 500 subs before you say YGO Pro, make sure that you sub to this channel, and I will catch you guys later. Peace.